If you'd like to stand, we'll sing our call to worship.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Blake Ringsmith, and along with my wife Yvette Babin Ringsmith, we'll be part of your worship service team. I'd like to welcome you all to Unity of Traverse City. If there's anyone here for the first time, we'll have a packet of information for you available. I just want to make a couple of announcements first before we get started. Steve Orr, who you know we prayed for last week, had his surgery postponed. They wanted to do some more testing. So we don't have a certain date yet for his surgery, but we will keep you posted, and I'm sure Scylla and Steve will keep us posted as well. And then sadly, I have the announcement to make that Alan Reed passed away on Wednesday. But Ann was there with him, and Nathan was there with him. And so our prayers go out to them. And Alan, just say yes. So, he did. He did. He is with the Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God. And we know he is here with us today. For those of you who don't know, Alan served as president of the board for many years, including when Judy was here, our minister. So let us speak our affirmation together first. Together, centered in divine love, I am a harmonious presence, indeed. And then, as we always do, let's consecrate our service that is about to unfold in prayer. Father, Mother, God, we are all one with each other, whether we are here or beyond. One with the earth, our great mother. Let us be mindful of those around us, the resources that are human, our resources that are our planet, and those resources that we cannot see, the spirit that connects us, the divine presence that is in all things, everywhere, at all times. And so it is. Amen.
If you'd like to stand, we'll sing I See Divinity in You, y'all. I see divinity in you. I see the Christ shining through in all of your passion for life and for love, in all of the glory that you are made of.
Good morning. That was exciting.
Greetings from outer space.
I wanted to add that these beautiful roses up here are in memory of Alan. The reason I didn't do the first announcement is because of this. We've got just a couple of announcements this morning. Our April guest speakers, of course, we are so happy to welcome Judy Grimes back with us this morning. Yeah. And thank you, Judy, for your continued commitment to share this journey with us, to manifest our new minister. And next week, we'll finish out the month with ordained Buddhist monk Jill Donberg, who will be joining us for the first time. We're looking forward to seeing her. Cleanup Day. Please join us on Saturday, May 6th for our annual Spring Cleanup Day. We plan to start at 9:30 a.m. and work until around 1 p.m. But please feel free to join for whatever time your schedule allows. Please bring leaf blowers, rakes, pruning shearers, wheelbarrows, and whatever other yard tools you think you might need to be useful, or might help somebody else if you don't have any need for it. Excuse me. Also, World Labyrinth Day. Following the cleanup activities, we'll move to the Labyrinth, where we will celebrate World Labyrinth Day. This is an annual international event which serves as a moving meditation for world peace and a celebration of the labyrinth experience. We will walk the labyrinth at 1 p.m. Communities from around the world celebrate at 1 p.m. local time, which creates a rolling wave of peaceful energy passing from one time zone to the next. Please join us in this declaration and celebration of peace. If you haven't been into our labyrinth before, it is a really, really wonderful experience. And nice to do alone, and very powerful to do with other people as well. Death Cafe. What is the secret to a life well lived? It's inviting death to be a part of it. On Sunday, May 7th at 12:15, we'll be hosting a discussion group workshop to look at how to make death a more integrated part of life. Please join us. Compassionate Choices Potluck. I think that, Marianne, do you have an announcement for us on that?
I don't know, can I say it here or do I need to?
Let me give you this. You can stand there and I'll give you this.
Oh, good.
Ready?
Ready? Okay, for those of you who don't know, this was reference to last week. Anyways, I wanted to invite you all to our potluck today, the plant-based vegan potluck in celebration of Earth Day, and to thank all of those who participated and brought something for us to share. The other thing is our Compassionate Choices group will be meeting this Wednesday. We meet the last Wednesday of every month at 6:30 in the fellowship hall. So we're a peaceful uprising, and we're small but mighty. So please come and join us if you'd like. Secondly, the Veg Michigan sign-up is going on for one more day. So if you'd like to receive that bag of free plant-based products, just see me after the service and I can sign up. I can help you sign up and then put your order online. And then the bags will be here next Saturday after, or next Sunday after the service. They will be delivered so you can pick them up here. And then finally, for Earth Day, in celebration of Earth Day, Earth Month, we have some red maple seedlings from the Arbor Day Foundation. They're in the back of the church. And so you're welcome to come back and take a seedling, plant it in your yard and watch it grow. It's part of what we've been talking about all month about healing the planet. You know, we heal the planet by eating more plants, loving every being, every single animal, and planting trees. So we can do all of that today together. So happy Earth Month.
I was going to read the covenant, which is, oh, you do? Oh, great. It's a really great covenant. All right. So if you would speak together, the Earth Care Covenant, together. Our consciousness reveals that all of creation is connected as one. The story of creation reveals that we are to be good caregivers of the creation. As a people of faith, we commit to a renewed reverence for life and respect for the independent web of all existence. We honor our spiritual commitment to the care, support, and defense of the balance between our individual needs and those of nature. We envision a world in which everything has intrinsic value and where all beings are assured a secure and meaningful life that is ecologically responsible and sustainable. We agree to transform our individual and congregational lives into acts of moral witness, discarding harmful habits for new behaviors that demonstrate our respect for this harmony and interconnectedness. We declare our covenant with God to walk upon the earth for the greatest good of all creation. Nice, thank you. And we have a board minute from Paul Carbonell.
Maybe a board minutes. Maybe. Hello. Yeah, I'm Paul Carbonell. Good to see you guys. Good to see some new faces too. I'm newcomers. It's awesome. Welcome. Right? Yes. Good. We need your help. Today there's a service volunteer extravaganza in the fellowship hall. There'll be sign-up sheets with different activities available for you to utilize your talents, and we need your talent. Plural, right? So please sign up, and whatever your desire to help out. You know, the service opportunities are plentiful, they are abundant, and we're here, so we need your help. We'll be incorporating our prosperity plan or our prosperity prayer for our new minister in forthcoming services. And we will be manifesting the funds to attract and support our new inspirational minister through this process, right? And here's some good news. Our infinite abundant budget is in great shape. Our first quarter offerings are up by $7,800 compared to last year. That is an overall 8% increase. So whoop, 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 whoop. That's awesome. Finally, or wait, maybe not finally, there's another page. Almost finally, I am asking that you please stay in our Prosperity Team Discovery meeting today. It'll be no more than, say, 25 minutes tops. It's just a discovery thing. We're going to ask a couple simple questions and see how we can best move forward in this prosperity consciousness. It's the fundraising team, but is our prosperity team, right? So rock on, bring it on, and we'll be good. So finally, we will be offering a strategic planning seminar with Greg Coles on May 20th and 21st. Please do attend, mark your calendars, and be a part of that. Every one of your ideas and every one of your, all of your input will truly impact how we move forward as a fellowship or as a congregation. And then following that seminar, the board is going to do a retreat to solidify those strategies and then ultimately delegate the Unity Traverse City plan for prosperity awesomeness.
All right.
You can remain seated. This is our Earth Day song. Hold me in your arms, Mother Earth. Let me know the wonders you share. I will hold you in my heart, Mother Earth. Bless the land, the water, the air.
This is our time of meditation. So as the lights begin to dim, I invite you to clear anything that may be in your lap or in your hands. Take a deep cleansing breath. And as you exhale, gently rock your knees, maybe back and forth, or roll your shoulders just to get relaxed and settled in your seat. Another deep breath. And become aware of your feet planted to the earth. Take another deep breath of our clean northern Michigan air. We're so grateful. We're going to read the daily word from yesterday's Earth Day. My thoughtful choices bless the earth. I am grateful for the planet Earth, my home. Each time I behold the glory of the divine source reflected in its wonders. Scripture tells me God's first commandment was dominion over the earth and its creatures. Dominion grants humankind the authority to use Earth's resources to create a more abundant life, and gives each person the responsibility to help maintain a healthy environment for future generations to thrive. If I am able, I may work with others to plant trees, care for gardens, or help keep a stream or park clean and free from litter. I bless the earth by making thoughtful choices, mindful of how my actions will affect our shared home. And from Deuteronomy chapter 11, verses 11 through 12, but the land that you are crossing over to occupy is a land of hills and valleys, watered by rain from the sky, a land that the Lord your God looks after. Let's take just a moment of silence. Now I invite you to imagine a warm sunny day, and maybe your pant legs rolled up, bare feet, and your feet are sitting in a stream as the water runs over your feet. You look up to the sky, looking up at the tops of the trees, breathing in the fresh air. For all this, we are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar of my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street without enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A soulless disregard, somebody's broken heart, and one man's soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with a woman in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize there are some with no home, not a nickel to loan. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern on the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with a woman in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with a woman in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. I'm starting with a woman in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. Na 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 na. Oh, it's gonna feel real good. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na 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 na.
Thank you, Meg. That was super. Boy. It's always wonderful to be with you, and especially today. Especially today, to be here with you all right now, celebrating life, celebrating the gifts that we've been given just by knowing one another and by living the truth that is ours, this teaching, by sharing it with all, with the earth, you know. It's all so special. And I think for me especially, knowing Alan is as much here today as he was here when he was with us physically. Alan Reed is this ministry. When we had our celebration of Alan's life with him here last August, we called him Mr. Unity. And I have that feeling today. I had it this morning when I was preparing myself to be with you. I had it constantly since Wednesday night when we received that word from you, Ann. So Alan's an inspiration, but Ann, you are too. You've been for all of us 10 years plus. God bless you. God bless you. So for those of you who are new, I got to tell you that today I am summarizing a process that we've been sharing when I've been with you over the last 4 months. If this is your first time with us, I'm going to do my very best to bring you in. And if there's any questions left saying, Judy, what in the world were you talking about? Then I promise we'll have an individual conversation about that. I took a class during January for 4 Saturdays. That class was devoted to global awakening, if you would, and it was based on the ideas in the light of this craziness, upset, all the things going on in our world. And I don't have to spell them out for anybody. We know what I'm talking about. And it hasn't gotten particularly easier, as far as I can see, in the last few months. But what is needed? What is needed? What might make a difference? And man in the mirror, woman in the mirror, definitely answers the question. It begins right here. And more than that, where do we get involved? This book is based, or this series was based on the book, Confessions of a Christian Heretic, written by my buddy Jim Rosemergy, who is a fabulous, insightful, I would say spiritually advanced, but I think we're all the Christ in manifestation. Christ is not Jesus' last name, right? It's the anointed one. It's the divine, refers to the divinity within us. So Jim gives evidence to that. And he is a wonderful one. He doesn't just keep it in his head and in his mind and in his heart. He writes it down so the rest of us know what the process might be. So that's what that class was based on, and that's what I chose to share. And this week we bring it together, probably hitting some of the highlights. So the first question might be, well, Jude, what are the signs that there's an awakening happening, a global awakening? What might those signs be? And I might have to say, guys, I'm not sure. I don't think there are signs. I think it happens in a split second, like lightning. We had a night last week, I guess, not this week, but preceding week up in Boyne, and probably down here also, when it was lightning all night. And I mean, they might have said you're going to have a storm. They didn't spell it out that it was going to be like it was. But that's the way it happens. It just happens. And we then went ahead to affirm 4 different things, 4 statements that would carry us into the process, if you would. The first one was that the answer is always spiritual. The answer to what's going on, the answer to whatever's going on in here, the answer when I have a question, of any kind, is a spiritual answer. It's get out of your head and get out of the way, because God has a message. Listen. The answer is spiritual. So just knowing that moves us into a different level, so we aren't clawing, we aren't fearing, we aren't in all those places. The answer is always spiritual. The second one was that statement that I am part of a peaceful uprising. I am part of a peaceful uprising. Oh, wow, I can let go of the angst a little. I am part of a peaceful uprising. Third, it only takes a few of us. And the fourth one is, I am one of the few. Okay, well, that few can be millions and millions and millions and millions, friends, isn't it? But it's right now that I am one of a few. We are the few. We are gathering together as the few. We are doing and sharing the process together. And sharing it now and at home and in our hearts and across the boundaries, man-made boundaries, country to country, natures across the oceans. We are sharing this. I find little things show me that something's happening here. Little pieces of good news that they stick into the news often. And I love it. They'll even end it with something that lifts you rather than leave you in the evening news feeling, oh my Lord, we're going to where in a handbasket, Not that. It's that which lifts us. And then you read about what a 6-year-old has done, something beautiful. sharing their toys, saying, I don't want anybody to be hungry, so I start a food process of sharing. And all these things that are going on that are saying this peaceful uprising and this gathering of the few is not solo. It's not just here. We happen to be privileged, I think, to live in this. When we were saying the Earth Covenant, I was thinking how blessed we are that we have the seas and we have the forests and we have so much to be grateful for, that we live here. I told somebody on the phone the other day, I think the smartest choice I ever made was when I said yes to Traverse City and moved there in 2000 and came into this ministry in 2000. I think that was the smartest choice I ever made. And for those of you who may not know, I left Maui to come here, which was cuckoo. Yeah, some say. No way was it cuckoo. What we have is glorious, so to be here. So there's no sign. It comes in the twinkling of an eye. And then the question that we would all ask is, well, can I help? And what is the answer? Of course, yes, yes, yes. Just say yes. Just say yes. I can help. I can be who I am. Who I am, as we sang today, the name of God within us, I can be who I am right now. And I'm doing my part right there. One of the ways you can do this is to say, I am a wick in God's candle. Now, have you ever had a candle where the wick is either burned down so far and you're trying with that match or with the lighter to light that candle and you can't get it to work? And it's because the wick is shot, right? If it's a new candle or a new type of thing like I have, some of those with a little thing underneath, it's because the battery's dead. Yeah, right? It's very simple, but I'll keep trying for a long time. What's wrong with this thing? The battery's dead. Well, we can be a wick in God's candle. That's who we are. That's what we've been created to be. That's the opportunity that's been laid in our laps and in our minds and in our hearts. We're here for purpose. And Jim wrote this question. He said, and it's on page 104 of that book, in case you happen to be reading that. He said, dear friends, we are to be wicks in the candle. We are to walk the earth awake and aware of the truth and nature of consciousness. In this way, we serve one another. Being spiritually awake does not make us more powerful. A wick does not make us kings and queens. It makes us servants of one another. It makes us servants of one another. Servants of the earth, servants of all people, servants of all creation. A wick is not the power. It is an avenue for the expression of power, wisdom, strength, love, peace, and joy. And as I think about Alan was definitely a wick for me. When my candle was not burning very brightly, or maybe I was having trouble lighting it, it was his faith, his love, his encouragement, his presence, his smile, all of that. And Ann, with you beside him, all that made the difference and that brought me back to, okay, Jude, you do have purpose. You are all right. Accept who you are. One of the things Alan used to say in a board meeting was, if we'd get into worry, Paul, about those finances, if we'd get into that stuff, he'd go, we're not going to Scare City. Scarcity, right? We will not set foot in Scare City. We will do what is ours to do. And then we would move forward again and again and again. So there's a scripture passage that I have chosen for today because it fits so perfectly in here about what the sense is. The word consciousness, I realize we use that kind of what is the word I want? Blithely, without giving a thought. Consciousness is the sum total of all that we have experienced, all that we know, all the gifts that were ours at our birth, all of the insight, all of the opportunity. Consciousness is our interconnection, if you would, if you can just see it that way. Soul, I see it as soul energy, soul growth. And this particular passage from the Gospel of Mark, the 5th chapter, talks about two situations where Jesus was present, and there was a mighty healing that happened. And I have to say, now, those of you who know how I do this, but when I prepare, I read it, and I think that's wonderful, and I've heard this since I was a kid in Sunday school. And then I go to the 5 Gospels, which is a book that lots of theologians, I don't know how many hundred were involved, but theologians led by Robert Funk and another man wrote. And they looked at all the things, all the statements of Jesus that we've been given. And they said, did he really say that? Do you think that, now assuming that he walked the earth, we'll put that little caveat in there because maybe it's all word of mouth. Maybe it's not historical at all. Maybe. I see skepticism on some faces right now. Maybe. But did he really say this? And they gave a red to. They all voted on everything. Then there were some, well, not so sure. That sounds like him, but got a pink. And then I really have doubts about this, got a gray. And if they're black, they're saying there's got to be some mistake here. Okay, there's got to be some mistake. But they're still in here because this was canonized, which means the powers that be many, many years ago said this is what belongs here. So the 2 I've chosen are black, I got to tell you that. But they're stories you know. The first one is the story of, first of all, Jesus has just healed the man who was seemingly insane, screaming, shouting, carrying on, just being wild and cuckoo, we might say. And people were shunning him, staying away from him. And Jesus called the devil, if you would, out of him, called that out of him, and he was calmed. And he went home to his family, I guess, to his domain. And Jesus and the disciples left with some of their followers, and they went to the other side, probably of the lake of Galilee, maybe. And it says on their way, and while they were doing that, a man came up, running up. Now, he was one of the rulers of the temple. His name is Jairus. Jairus means the illumined one, the enlightened one. He came running to Jesus, and he said, Jesus, my daughter is very, very ill. Please come and take her hand and heal her. Please come. And Jesus left with Jairus and started going that way. And at that time then, more and more people who had heard about the first healing and others gathered around, and they were all walking together. And into this crowd, a woman who had been hemorrhaging for at least a year vaginally, or 12 years, which means 12, number of enough. She had been hemorrhaging a long time. And she thought, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, if I could just reach out and touch it. And, she's not thinking touch. She's thinking I could tug on it. I got to get it. I got to get it. I've got to be through this. I've got to finish this. And she thought, if I could just do that, I will be healed. So she made her way through somehow, and she reached for him. And Jesus felt her touch him, and he said, who touched me? Well, now she's really frightened. She's trembling because he came up to her, and he's looking directly at her. And he said to her, clearly, your faith has made you well. Go in peace. You are whole. You are well. So what was it in those? Oh, and then Jairus. Then he goes off with Jairus again. And when they get to the house, he calls to the little girl, and he calls her Talitha Kum. Talitha Kum, that means little one, little girl. Talitha Kum, come out. And he told them, they said, well, she's already dead. No, she's not, he said. She's just sleeping. So Talitha Kum, and out she comes. And in both those cases, what happened? It was the faith, and it was just the knowingness and the reaching for the consciousness. They plugged into his consciousness, if you would. And this is something that we all do now. And then we'll say, well, why don't healings happen? I don't know. Each soul has a choice. We all have our time here. Sometimes healings happen, sometimes they don't. In the physical sense, that doesn't mean that healing hasn't already happened. when somebody graduates. It doesn't mean that at all. So anyway, they touched his consciousness. The woman I have melded with his consciousness. It wasn't the robe. It wasn't that. It was her knowing that if I do this, I will be whole. So what must we do then to walk this path now? Okay, to be globally aware and to be healers on this planet. What must we do? Though the first thing that is clear in here is we must become like a river. And the river means we must be flowing with the consciousness. We must not be trying to push the river, because it'll flow at its pace. It will flow. And the spiritual enlightenment will happen. We are present to it is the best way to say it. Responding to all cosmic forces, the laws of the universe, laws of creation, responding to that, and living by spiritual principles. The principles we know, the principles of kindness, the principles of balance, the principles of openness or oneness or caring. Living by the spiritual principles you know and flowing with the universe, being like the river. And living a life of oneness then means living a life of joy. And we talked about this the second time I was here. That means singing your song, joy. So often when we have a physical ailment, and I often go to, help me, the little book of, no, the other little one.
The Golden Key?
No, Raleigh, you and I talked about last time I was here, the book of, if you've got this issue, here's what might be going on, and here's, say it, Nance. Louise Hay, thank you. Going to Louise Hay, I was with her this morning, and I was looking at how many of those things say, you got this going on? Maybe you need a little more joy. Maybe you need a little more love in your life. You know, when I knew stuff was going on with me, joy was there, and I realized, yeah, I've gotten bogged down in my stuff, in the outer, and I've kind of forgotten this. So the tip was, let your own song come through. Sing your very own song, not one you were taught in Sunday school, not just this little light of mine or whatever it might be that you've known all your life. What song comes through you? Sing it, sing it, sing it. Sing it when you're walking. Hum it. The second one was pray in all circumstances. Pray consistently, constantly. Prayer, it's the channel through God, through which the Creator works. Stay open, listen, pray in all circumstances. Again, pray a prayer that is your prayer, not one somebody gave you. I've got lots of those, starting probably with the Lord's Prayer and others that I learned long ago and some that I've learned since. Those are the ones that put me back to sleep when I can't sleep at night. I run through some of those. But there was one, I was telling my grandson about it yesterday, and I said, honey, this came to me when I was getting my master's on the campus of Eastern Washington University outside Cheney, Washington. And at that point, I was just doing a lot that was out of the mold, if you would. You know, I had little kids at home, and yet I was getting a master's. My husband was a minister. I called it a master's in minister's wifery, because I took a lot of psychology classes that I had in sociology and threw in a few education things that I might need in church work and all that. But the prayer became, I look to God for direction and myself for confirmation. I don't need my dad to approve. I don't need my husband to approve. I don't need anyone else. And that's never left me. I look to God for direction, for guidance. And then I go to myself for confirmation. Is this right? I don't run around saying, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You know, this is mine. So pray your own prayer and then give thanks, as I said, in all circumstances. And I believe Alan did that. I believe Alan did that with us. Even when it was hard to see through the shadows. Even then, he would be giving thanks that we knew God was present. I'm going to share a poem written by our poet laureate, the late James Dillard Freeman. I've never led a memorial service without sharing the traveler. Many of you know the traveler. It'll be my voice, but it will be could be your thoughts. I will probably use I sometimes because it's a personal connection, but I may also go to we, all of us together. So I invite you just enter the quiet of your own soul and hear these words. And Jim wrote this right after his first wife died when she was quite young. He said she, today we say he. He has put an invisibility. Dear Lord, I cannot see, but this I know. Although the road ascends and passes from my sight, that there will be no night, that you will take him gently by the hand and lead him on along the road of life that never ends. And he will find it is not death, but dawn. I do not doubt that you are there as here, and you will hold him dear. Our life did not begin with birth, and it's not of the earth. And this that we call death, it is no more than the opening and closing of a door. And in your house, how many rooms must be beyond this one where we rest momently? Dear Lord, I thank you for the faith that frees, the love that knows it cannot lose its own, the love that looking through the shadows sees that you and he and I and we are ever one. And this we know. And that's why we can lovingly and gratefully let go and trust. Free Alan, free ourselves. And know that it is so. Amen. So I'm going to go on with the process. Now, so what is ours to do if we're going to be these global healers and continue the work that's ours to do that we've embarked upon? Well, we can't just do joy and pray and give thanks and study and all else in the outer. We have to go deeper within. This is where the man in the mirror shows up here for us. This is where it says you got to do some work within. You need to go into the cave of your deeper self, your inner knowing, your deepest place. Cave is the depth of our being. You need to go in there and take a look. And I'm not going to send us all off into counseling right now. We can do it by ourselves, a lot of it. But even as I say that, even as I'm preparing, and one came up from many years ago at Unity of Evanston, Illinois, that I may share a little bit about for me. In the cave, you find stuff. And what are they? Well, they're the dark stones. They're the stones that would say, Judy, you've got to do some healing around this. I think I will, as an example, share this one. There was a Unity minister friend, and we were in the parking lot. And this is in the 70s, between 75 and 80, when we were serving in the Chicago area and doing expansion of the Unity movement. And she was trying to tell me something, and I was definitely not wanting to hear it, whatever it was. I have a good idea what it was, but I'm not going to tell you. And she said, and I was, doing my positive self routine, and she said, Judy, you are such a Pollyanna. And that stung. That really stung. And I thought I'd let go of that. But I've never contacted her since. I've never talked to her. I don't know if I've seen her. I've seen a picture of her now and then. And I think she lives in Alaska somewhere, so that would be my excuse. But I really don't know where she is. But that's hurtful. And what comes up for me? So this is a dark stone. And Jim says, pick up a stone, and I meant like a rock, a little one. Put it in your pocket. Wear it to remind you. Yeah, you got stuff Jude. It'll all be coming up that needs to be healed. You know, maybe you don't, but they might percolate up right there. So, why do we want to do this? Because what's guarding the gate of the cave? It would be the devil, and I'm not talking a devil with horns. I'm talking the devil of irresponsibility. You know, Flip Wilson always said it, the devil made me do it, right? Say something I didn't mean to say, get angry, get crabby, I was going to say abusive, but Ken told me, that took me to my husband, I had surgery on my eyes, and if you're noticing that there's stitches there and there's a lot of miscolor underneath, don't worry, Ken didn't start abusing me. And I promised I would be sure you all know that today. I made a choice and did this. Anyway, we are not victims. We need to bring this stuff up to heal us. So we look at those dark stones because guess what? They are expressions of our humanity. While our brother, Jesus, our way shower, our teacher, was divine, he was also human. He had moments too. He had dark stones too, when you read carefully. We have dark stones, and our divinity and our humanity are sometimes in contraposition. Sometimes we see both sides, right? I know what my humanity does, and my humanity is blessed. It's good. Our humanity is blessed, but it's there, so we need to embrace that and celebrate it. Embrace our humanity, and the irresponsibility would be the part that would be, I would say, where the devil made us do it, and the other part is acceptance, responsibility. So we accept what's there. We know it is what it is, maybe. We can ask to be shown, tell me more. What is this about? Why have I carried this as a sore in me for so many years? Why have I carried that? Why am I worried about that still? Tell me more, show me more. I want to feel more. I want to know this. And I don't have to shun it. I don't have to deny it. I don't have to put it behind me. It's who I am. It's part of who I am. Part of what makes me who makes us who we are today. So, I would say stand in the midst of the challenges of your humanity and know that this is just who you are. This is part of your path. This is part of my path to healing. Remember that you can stand firm on spiritual principles and be in the flow of cosmic energy, of the divine, of global awakening at all times. And you can't get out of that flow. So we might as well flow with it, right? Flow with that river. For the answer is always spiritual. Our humanity is sacred. We can just accept our humanity. We gather in groups, small groups, to know this and affirm this and share this. Groups of 2 or 3 or more, a body called a congregation. We gather in groups to know this and affirm this for ourselves and for one another. Live at the edge, the extremities of your life. You know, don't be afraid. Step, no matter where we are, how old we are. You can see my mom in her wheelchair, and she was in a nursing home for a long time with MS. See her going down to the desk, though, and saying, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? You know, for years, she would do that, and they would say, Marge, I need to take a break. Would you answer the phone for a little bit? And she would do that. They would give her something to do. So be the wick in God's candle that only you can be. Be who you are, where you are. For you know what? You and I, each of us, we are wicks in God's candle. We are part of a peaceful uprising. And for this, we can only say, thank you, God, thank you. And you, Unity of Traverse City, Michigan, we together, we are that peaceful uprising right here. And boy, I celebrate that. So rejoice, give thanks. God bless you. See you again next month. I don't know what day, but I'll be here then. Amen.
Yeah, you can leave that there. Thank you, Judy. It's evident that everything was in divine order, that you were the one that was scheduled today. What just a perfect person for at this moment. So thank you so much. As we move into the prosperity portion of our service, I want to remind everyone that we are a tithing community, and this month we are tithing to Meals on Wheels. So that's where our unity money is being sent this month. So thank you, congregation. And yes, what a great program that is. Our prosperity is here everywhere, right? All around us. And it's a time to share our financial gifts with the ministry. As children of a loving God, we live in the light of abundance, deeply grateful for all that's been given and all that is to come. And we embrace the good that God provides with joy and thanksgiving. And if you can join me in speaking the prosperity blessing words together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, and so it is.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Oh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I'm weak. And you say
community. This is so cool. Wow, thank you. Everyone, thank you for being here this morning. What a great music team and our volunteers this morning. Yeah. We have welcome packets for any guests that are here for the first time. Not everyone is like this, don't worry. Our ushers would be happy to hand you a packet on the way out if you would like one. We also have our delicious luncheon available after the service back in the fellowship hall, put on by our vegan friends and that community, and celebrating Earth Day. Let's see, there's something else. Oh, we have some more fabulous music happening right after our peace song. So please don't rush out of the sanctuary because you will be here for a treat if you stay. So I invite you to stay for that. And given that, let's join in our circle for our peace prayer, please. Mm-hmm. Oh, they just got a song up.
Stand here. I'm going to take the. Are you going to sing with her? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Circle. If you'd like to share any prayers, I'd like to start off just with a prayer for, well, remembering we're so grateful that Alan is still with us in spirit. And please keep Steve Orr in your prayers. We'll keep you updated every week as to what the next happening is going to be. But if you could just keep him and Scylla in your prayers, that would be lovely. They greatly, greatly appreciate it and are very aware of all that loving energy headed their way. So take just a moment to speak into the circle any prayers you have that you'd like to share. Mother, Father, God, for this highest good we know is available to all. We are so grateful. Thank you. And our peace prayer, the light of God protects us, the love of God protects us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
They made paradise and put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise and put up a parking. Shots and give them the knees. We got no mic. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. I said they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. You know they paved paradise and put up a parking lot.